Opa, e aí pessoal, sejam bem-vindos para mais uma live estudando programação, programação web, né, HTML, já live 72, bora estudar, acho que até meia-noite e 20. Bom,
Hello again, friends. Today I'm going to explain text. There's other different types like
oi, isso aqui de novo.
passwords, emails, telephone numbers. We'll cover that pretty soon. We have a text box, but if a user sees this text box tag form, we're again file and HTTP onto using HTML. To create a form, we'll need a pair of form tags. The opening form tag has a few attributes we need to fill in. First is an action attribute. After submitting our form, to what location do we want to send our form to? Form submission is done with a backend language such as PHP. You might see a file name such as index.php or action page or something of that nature within your action attribute. We're not actually going to do a form submission, but just be aware that the action attribute sends data to this location, to this file. The file listed really can be anything, but that's outside the scope of this lesson. You'll also see a method. The method attribute specifies if this is a GET request or a POST request. POST is used for confidential information, such as a username and a password. GET is for insensitive data, basically. Again, this is outside the scope of HTML at this point in time. If we have a form and we're sending sensitive data, we should use POST. Now let's create some elements within our form. The first thing we'll create is a text box. We need a self-closing input tag. So here's our text box. By default, the type is a text box, but we can specify that with the type. So type text. There's other different types like passwords, emails, telephone numbers. We'll cover that pretty soon. We have a text box, but if a user sees this text box, they probably don't know what they should enter in. Let's add a label to the text box. Preceding my input tag, I will create a pair of label tags. What do we want our label to say? Maybe username. We're telling the user, hey, we want you to enter in your username. If somebody is using a screen reader if they're visually impaired, we should add a for attribute. What is this for? Well, this is for my username. Another benefit of adding the for attribute to a label, when you click on the label, your cursor will move to the text box. But we need a matching ID.
Entendi. Beleza. Para username.
The attribute within the input tag. So the ID is going to be the same as the for attribute. Then when I click on the label, our cursor moves to the text box. There are a few other attributes you might be interested in as well. But before we get to that, we should create a submit button to submit our data. At the end of our form, we'll create an input tag. The type will be submit. It's a submit button, but it currently doesn't do anything. We're not using a backend language to submit form data to. There are some useful attributes for text boxes. Within the input element for our text box, let's add the required attribute. In order to submit this form, we need to type in a password. If I just leave it blank, then hit submit, we have this little prompt. Please.
Esse record aqui ele faz. Record. Ele faz eu ter que, tipo, preencher, tá ligado? Isso aqui. Submit. Type ou não? Type. Então, BR aqui. BR. Cocô. É... Cara, eu esqueci, mano. Quando eu tô
Let's fill
escrevendo,
out this
fica umas
field.
bolinhas.
I can't submit this form
Como se fosse uma
until I
senha.
type in something. Then I can submit it. You could set a minimum and maximum length. That's another attribute. Min length equals then some length. The minimum length for a username is 6 characters. Let's type in just 3 or some other number below 6, submit. Please lengthen this text to
Mínimo caracteres. Oh, meu Deus. Oxe. Ih, que deu errado. Já tá mínimo de length. 6. Required. Username, username, username. Text. Agora foi. Beleza.
6 characters or more. I'll come up with a different username, then submit, and that appears to work. You also have the capability of setting a maximum length with the max length attribute. Let's make the max length 15 characters. So let's type in a username. I'll add a bunch of characters afterwards. So I can't type in any more than 15 characters. There's a maximum. To reset your form, there's a reset button. Let's copy this input tag, paste it, then change type to reset. So here's my reset button. I'll type in a username, press reset, then we can reset the data for our form. But afterwards, I'm just going to add a break line, just to put the
Input. Eita. Type equals reset. Legal.
the submit button on a new line. With text boxes, you can add a placeholder to give the user an idea of what we want them to enter in and in what format. I'm going to add a placeholder attribute. What do we want our placeholder to be? I don't know, SpongeBob SquarePants, or maybe just SpongeBob. So the placeholder is faded.
Tá, o placeholder que aparece ali, né? Your user name.
It gives a hint to the user.
Bora criar um negocinho pra senha aqui. Notebag. Vamos ver como fica melhor. Beleza. Dois BR. Calma aí. Tab. Tem que dar um label, né? Label. Identity left on for. Para password. Password assim, né? É assim. Password. Para password. Aí tem um input. Type. Text, né? Quero escrever. Então eu vou ter um ID também. Para passar o password. Para password. Beleza. Aí, beleza. Vou colocar um placeholder aqui, né? Placeholder. Your password. Title. Me. Mínimo. Mínimo 6 caracteres. Mínimo 6 characters. Beleza. Mínimo 6 characters. Characters. Sim, né? Characters. Mínimo 6 characters. Main. Main. 6 required. Conix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tá. Eu não tinha visto em algum lugar.
Nome. Muito bem, e o botão aqui, por fim, o campo input do type submit, que é para enviar. Mesma coisa como formulário, certo? Vou colocar o e-mail para cima da senha, porque geralmente a sequência é essa, né? Deixa eu recortar aqui, então, nome, ó, e-mail, senha, certo? Nome, e-mail, senha. Esses são campinhos de entrada. Então, o campo de tipo texto é type text, o de tipo e-mail é type e-mail e do tipo senha é o type password, todos input. Lembrando que a tag do tipo input, ela não tem fechamento. Você observou aqui, ó, não tem fechamento. Você não faz assim, ó, barra, até ele fechou o formulário aqui. Você não faz assim, barra input, assim, ó, para fazer o fechamento. Ele nem te dá essa opção. Quando você faz uma tag input, ele já sabe que é uma tag única, certo? Assim como no caso da tag de imagem, também ela não tem fechamento. Beleza? Outro campo do tipo input que a gente pode estar utilizando, e eu vou até pular duas linhas para colocar esse daqui, é o campo do tipo input também, mas do type
user as to the format in which they should enter in information. If I were to click on this text box, the hint is still there until we type in something. Okay, let's cover passwords. To create a password, we'll use an input tag. The type is going to be password. We should probably add a label to let the user know that we would like a password. So I'm just going to copy the label that we have for our username. The for attribute of our label should match the ID attribute of our input tag. So the ID is going to be password. The for attribute of the label will be password. And then change the text to. There we are. I'm just going to change one thing. After my password, I'm going to add a break line. So I will add that here. All right, so with the password, the text is hidden. I can type in a bunch of characters and you can't see it. You could add some of these attributes as well, like a minimum length, maximum length, and the required attribute. So I'll copy those and paste them within the input tag for my password. I can type in a username. If I attempt to submit this form data without a password, we have that prompt, please fill out this field. That's because we have the required attribute set. There's also a minimum length and a maximum length set too. I'm required to type in a password that's at least 6 characters long. Right now this is only 5. Anything between 6 and 15 is okay. For the rest of this demonstration, I'm going to get rid of these attributes. Let's cover email next. I'll create a label first.
Ai, que da hora. Tem como dar um mínimo máximo de caracteres. Max tem igual 10. E aqui no placeholder não. Ah não, isso aqui eu coloquei foi no username do X. And max tem characters. Deixa assim. Aqui no Visual Code é estranho porque, tipo, deveria mostrar que a linha 73 é essas duas, mas aqui tá divide, não sei porquê. Oxe, mano. Bora ver, bora ver.
This will be for email. The text will be email. Then we'll need a corresponding input tag. Input type equals email. For the ID, I will also set that to be email. I'll add a line break after. Then I'll add a placeholder. squarepants@gmail.com. Again, the placeholder is letting the user know the format in which they should type in their information. If I were to type in some text, but we're missing that @ sign. Hold on, let me type in something real quick. All right, click submit. We have a prompt. Please include an @ sign in the email address because we're looking for a valid email address format. That's input for email. Let's copy our label. For phone, the text will be phone number. Again, we need an input tag. The type will be TEL for telephone. We need a matching ID that matches the for attribute. Phone, I'll add a break element to the end. We can type in a phone number. I'll add a placeholder too. Placeholder equals, with American telephone numbers, you have 3 digits, such as 123 then another 3 digits like 456, dash, then 4 digits, 7890. So currently we can type in any numbers, then submit them. Hold on, I need a username. We can limit the format in which a user can type in some numbers for a phone number. We would need a pattern attribute. For the digits 0 through 9, within a set of straight brackets, you would type 0-9. Then how many digits do you allow afterwards? 3. Then we'll need a dash that's required, add a dash. Then another 3 digits, 0 through 9, 0-9. Then another 3 digits, dash, numbers 0 through 9. Let me move this in a little bit. Then I would like 4 digits. So now our phone number needs to be in this format. 3 digits, dash, 3 digits, dash, 4 digits. 123 dash 456 dash 7890. Hold on, I'm going to get rid of this required attribute just because it's kind of annoying right now. 123 dash 456 dash 7890. There, that seems to work. But if I were to type in a random amount of numbers, well then we don't meet this pattern. Matching this pattern is required in order to submit this data. Alright, then we have dates, like a birth date. We'll need a label. This will be for a birth date. For B-Day. Input type equals date. The ID should match the for attribute of the label. Then I'll add a break element. So with dates, there's an interactive calendar to select a date. Pretty simple. Then we
Ai, beleza. Não, tá errado, calma. Aqui os botões. Aqui eu tô disfarçando. Input. Fecha. Type, né? Type. Email. ID. Email. Placeholder para ser. Your email. Site. Não vou colocar um title não. Vou dar um recorde também. Meu. Parafone. Input. Fecha. Type. Phone. Não, não é phone, não, né? Tell. Tell. ID. Phone. Label. Birthday. Type. Não. Que é far. For the day. Birthday. Tem um. Todo lábio tem um input. 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 Eu vou colocar type. Date. Vou passar um ID. Birthday. Que mais? Required. Mano, que da hora, cara. Label. O que é agora?
We have a number element. A user is going to enter in a quantity, like they're buying something, like how many.
Esse placeholder aqui não faz muito sentido, né? Username. Username. Arroba. Username. Assim.
Do you want? Let's change the text to quantity. For quantity, we need an input element. The type will be number. ID equals quantity. Then I'll add a break. So here's our quantity. We can use these arrows to go up or down. However, normally you can go into negative numbers. We can set a minimum and a maximum with the min and max attributes. So the minimum will be 0. We don't want to go below 0. The max, I think 99 is good. So we can't go below 0, but we can go all the way to 99 and no further. You can add a default value with the value attribute. I'll set the default to be 1. That is for number input. It's good if you need a quantity of something. Alright, then radio buttons. Radio buttons are a little tricky. With radio buttons, you can only select one from a...
Bom, pessoal, vou dormir. Daqui a pouco eu vou ter que trabalhar, né? Série tem um dia dos pais. Então é isso, vou deixar já as paradas aqui. E é isso, até a próxima live, mano. Valeu. Vou esperar dar 40 minutos aqui.